What is up, Squared Nation? Welcome back to No Counters, No Combos, and today we're back in the battle chamber. This is actually coming at you from Computer and Gaming Universe, where we actually started doing live streams of our Monday Night Locals. So this is round one of that tournament. I'm on the right playing the set 6 teen Gohan leader. And I have Enrique on the left playing Raditz. So it's going to be a really interesting matchup. These are two decks that probably nobody's ever seen before, or at least on this channel. So I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay. For those of you that tuned into the live stream, thank you very much. We really do appreciate it. We're going to start doing those more consistently on a weekly basis for now. I'm going to try to get more than just once per week as things get ironed out and sorted out. But for right now, I know for certain 100%, we're at least going to stream live once a week. For right now, it's really raw. You know, it's super preliminary, but you know, we hope that we can continue to get the support from you guys, and we hope that you enjoy the actual live gameplay. So I started off by charging my multicolor energy and passing. Enrique draws for turn, charges his multicolor energy, and then he activates Raditz skill. Raditz allows you to look at top 5 for a Nappa or a Vegeta, add it to hand, and then shuffle. So he is playing the actual Raditz deck. It's not just like Raditz leader with just hand control. You know, there's Nappas, there's Vegetas, there's Powerballs, there's Apes. You know, there's a whole bunch of stuff. So, you know, kudos to him for taking the risk and doing that. Also, as part of Raditz effect, you have to discard a card. So you can see that happening there. And Raditz is a really interesting leader. It does not generate any hand advantage over your opponent with drawing. What it does is every time he attacks, your opponent has to warp a card out of their hand. So you're not gaining advantage. You're kind of like reducing your opponent's advantage, if that makes any sense. So virtually, you're still gaining some type of economic advantage over your opponent, but in a different way. So he's going to pass the turn. I do take that damage, go down to 7. I am going to charge a second yellow energy here. I'm going to attack with my leader, mill 2, discard a yellow, draw 2. So the Gohan leader is very similar to Clash of Fates Goku. And as you can see, that's kind of a misplay there. On my part, I believe Goku Black requires 2 blue energy, so I shouldn't have been able to play that. Yeah, so I do apologize for that. I believe he requires 2 blue energy, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know in the comment section down below if that is the correct case. Unfortunately, I made a mistake if that's the case, and it wasn't caught by our stream judge. So, you know, hopefully, you know, it doesn't affect the game too much in this instance. But when Goku Black does come out, at the end of the turn, you draw 2 cards, pitch a card, and then untap an energy. So I am going to pass to Enrique. He's going to charge. I do apologize for the glare, guys. Sometimes working out these camera angles to try to fit everything into the frame is a little bit iffy. You don't always get the best lighting. I am working on getting better lighting so that we can reduce the glare. But for right now, I'll try to walk you through it as best as possible. So he does have a Demonic Origins Broly charged and Hidden Power of the Saiyans. So he has 1 red, 1 green, and then a maximum of 2 green if he needs it. So he's going to swing with his leader to my leader. Auto, I have to warp a card out of my hand. He's going to swing at me 10k. I'm just going to snap take it, go down to 6. He's got 2 active energy. Let's see if he decides to make a future play. He's going to pass. So I'm going to draw for turn here, untap everything, and charge. Let's see what I'm going to charge here. So I'm kind of playing... you know, my teammate Kevin has had a lot of success with Clash of Fates Goku and the Kaioken, so I kind of wanted to take the exact opposite approach. Instead of doing red and green, I wanted to do yellow and blue. However, yellow and blue doesn't have, like, they don't have that many top-end finishers, except for, like, Gogeta. So this is essentially a Gogeta deck, and I just kind of try to make it work as best as I can, and surprisingly enough, it worked a lot better than I thought it would. So as you can see, my leader is very similar. It mills 2 off the top, you discard a yellow and you draw 2, so it's very similar to Clash of Fates Goku, except the major difference is my win condition does not need 20 cards in drop area, it only needs 10. So I can get my Sparking 10 very, very quickly in the deck. and then I'm just playing defense for the whole time until I'm ready to just go off. The other thing too is I don't have to put myself down to 1 life to get the full value off of Kaioken. I can just activate Gogeta 7 and take the 1 life to activate his skill, and then have other, options to play defensively. So this deck is quite turtle in my opinion, but I wanted to play something fun, and, luckily it was actually a lot more competitive than I thought it was going to be. The deck list has since been updated. I'm currently not playing the same cards that you might see in this video. So if you guys are interested in the deck profile for this, I'll definitely post it to the channel, but it's going to be the updated version of the list, which is more optimal in my opinion. So Enrique is going to charge his 3rd energy, charging the 1-drop Raditz. He's going to look at top 5 with his leader skill to grab a Vegeta, and then he has to discard. He doesn't have to grab a Vegeta. He can grab a Raditz, a Nappa, or a Vegeta, put it in his hand, but then he has to discard a card. So he's going to shuffle up. He's going to add the 1-drop Raditz, which is for 1 red, you get to draw a card, and your opponent, if they untap offensively, you get to destroy 1 of their energy. So let's see what he decides to pitch here. And yes, I did just confirm that playing the Goku Black on turn 2 was a misplay. It does require 2 blue energy, so that is my fault, guys. I do apologize for that. Like I said, hopefully it doesn't, affect the outcome of the game in a major way. I really don't think it would, but moving forward, we're definitely going to have to address that to make sure that everything is played properly, because we don't want to become notorious for our misplays here at No Counters, No Combos, so I do apologize for that. So he's going to tap that 1 red to play the Raditz to draw a card. He's going to swing at my leader, 10k to 10k. I do have to warp a card out of my hand, which does hurt. I like to have my hand to use defensively or for pieces for my leader to pitch to draw 2. So he's going to pass. I go down to 5, charge my 4th energy, giving me 2 multicolored and 2 yellows. We're going to untap everything here. Turn 4 is really kind of slow. This deck doesn't really do much until turn 5, so we're going to turn our leader sideways. Mill 2, pitch a yellow, and draw 2. Discard Champa the Trickster, which is another main reason why I wanted to try yellow-blue, because I feel the counterplays are just really good for those 2 colors. Champa the Trickster is 1 more energy than Mutaido. And the Undying Spirit Gohan, in my opinion, is really, really good. So I kind of wanted to experiment with that stuff. I could definitely see making some changes in the future just to kind of have a little more options on turn 4. Figure of Majesty Shenron is one of the options I've been tinkering with, which is a possible addition to the future deck list here. But for the most part, I did okay. Overall, I went 2-2 with this deck at my local, only losing to OG Broly Hand Control and Universe 6 Kaba and Friends. So not bad for essentially a meme deck. So it is Enrique's turn. I'm completely open. I have all my energy untapped. He's got 4 energy up as well. Activating leader skill to look at top 5 to add a piece and then pitch a card. He's not going to add anything, so he's just going to shuffle everything up. Now, this format has kind of shifted into like a turn 5 format. Everybody's dropping bombs late game, so you're going to see a lot of slower matchups. But for the most part, getting a game in, in about 20 to 30 minutes is not that bad. That's usually how much time you have allotted for your rounds anyway. So he's going to tap 2 to play the 3-drop Vegeta that searches for the field card. It does have Deflect, but does not have Barrier. So I was attempting to activate a counterplay, but I know that the main combo of the deck is to bring out the Vegeta, search for the field card, and then the 6-drop ape comes out on top of the Vegeta, and then the Yajirobe can come in for free to kill the ape to bring out the 6-drop. So I kind of wanted to make sure that I didn't utilize my energy incorrectly for counterplay, and this Vegeta does not threaten me at all right now, so I'm not really too worried about it. Enrique's going to discard a card from his hand to add Powerball, and then he's going to play Powerball off of Vegeta's skill, which is, pretty good because he's getting, his pieces that he needs to play his combo. I think Powerball, when it comes out, I'm not sure exactly what the field card does itself. I think it just allows you to play the ape, for free on top of the 3-drop. So he's gonna do that. I'm gonna immediately respond with Champa the Trickster, which is gonna allow me to draw a card and then put the ape in rest, so I don't have to worry about that 30k swing. But you do have to be aware that when the ape does come out that first turn, it can't be removed from the field by card effects. So you can still interact with it with counterplay, but you can't like pop it or warp it or anything like that. So he is going to awaken because he's at 4 life. He's going to untap 1. Raditz does not draw when he awakens. And then he's going to swing at me for 15k. I still have to warp a card out of my hand. Essentially, it's the effect that he gets front and back. But on the back side, Raditz can also give plus 5k to one of his Saiyan battle cards for the duration of the turn, which is pretty cool in my opinion. So I'm at 4. I'm going to charge my 5th energy here. I did kind of, fumble some of my cards off the table. Not cheating or anything like that, just kind of picking stuff up. But turn 5 is my big turn, and I'm in the range that I want to be. I usually want to be going into turn 5 with no more than 5 life, because I want to be able to play Gogeta 7 and put myself in awakening range so I can untap 2. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're just going to get some more advantage here. I'm going to swing with Goku Black, fearing the Shocking Death Ball. So I'm going to utilize that first. In case he decides to play it, it's going to kill the 2-drop. And that's his only legal target. So you kind of want to, do stuff that way. So he does combo out. I'm going to swing with Champa the Trickster just to kind of get a couple more, either more cards out of his hand, or if he decides to take damage, more cards into his hand to make Gogeta 7 more impactful. He is sitting at 4 life, so he is going to take it, which is exactly what I wanted. He's going to go down to 3. I'm going to swing with my leader, auto, mill 2, pitch a yellow, draw 2. So as you can see, I'm just dumping counters and just dumping stuff that I need in the grave. Gohan's pretty interesting on the backside. I am going to super combo here with Beerus to go up to 20, just to kind of pressure his leader a little bit. When Gohan's awakened, he has a once per game effect where you can add a Saiyan, a yellow Saiyan that's 3 cost or higher from your drop area to your hand, which you'll see as an alternative win con that I play in this deck. You'll see when it comes out. But that skill is only once per game, and then his auto to draw is sparking 5. So you have to have 5 in the drop in order to swing and draw, which kind of stinks, but it works because he fuels the drop area very, very, very well. So I am going to go ahead and top 5 to play Gogeta. I have to discard my 2 fusion materials, which I have a Gogeta and a Goku in my hand there. As you can see, the 2 vanillas. I have to crit a life. Enrique's going to respond with the Vegeta the Cruel counterplay to pop one of my cards. Most likely going to be either my Champa or my Goku Black, because Gogeta has barrier and he's much higher than a 4-drop. So he is actually going to take that play back, which is fine. We're playing locally, so it's not that serious. It's another card that's going to get shuffled into his deck anyway, and you really don't want to tap out in this situation, because at worst, if you draw back up into a negate with Gogeta, you'll have the energy to play it without sparking, so you won't put yourself down to 2. So we're just having a quick conversation as to what he can do. He can respond to my Gogeta with Vegeta the Cruel, but he won't be able to target it. So he is going to shuffle everything back up and in. I'm going to awaken to untap my 2 energy, which is amazing because I'm going to untap 2 multicolors, which makes the deck just so much more versatile. With defensive capabilities, being able to play Senzu Bean, being able to play Undying Gohan, the counterplay when he comes out, he does untap an energy as part of his auto, so essentially you're playing a counterplay for 1, which is amazing. So there's a lot of good utility in this deck. Obviously, yellow has a lot of good counterattacks like Time Magic, Flying Nimbus, and I do play Restrain from the drop area, which, as you can see, for the greater good is the green counterpart that Enrique wants to go activate. By paying 1 green, he can remove this card from his drop area and 1 green card from his hand from the game and negate the attack, and then he gets to destroy one of my 1-drops, which I don't have any. So he's going to snap negate my Gogeta attack, which is fine because that's a 30k triple, and then he's going to remove the Paragus from his hand. So here we go here. We're sitting pretty comfortable. I have 2 energy open. I have a small novel in my hand. Enrique's got 3 cards. He has to debate whether he's going to charge or not, which essentially is very detrimental because he's taking cards out of his hand for resources. Now, I have to be careful here because if he does have the Yajirobe play, he can play the Yajirobe and KO the ape and then bring out the 6-drop SR from set 7, which is actually a really, really good card. So I have to be super careful here. He's tapping 1 for Raditz to draw a card, allowing me not to, or preventing me from untapping on offense, which is not that big of a deal because I'm going to use my offensive on my untaps more for defense anyway. But he does draw that extra card. So I think I have about 7 or 8 cards in hand. He should have about 3 or 4, maybe 4 because he didn't charge. So he's in a tough spot. He's got a 30k Gogeta to deal with. Even if he decides to swing at Gogeta with his ape, he doesn't have enough cards in his hand to ensure that Gogeta's going to die, because I can easily combo out with the amount of cards that I have in my hand just by sheer numbers. So he's going to go ahead and tap the Powerball to give the ape +5, and then activate Raditz skill to give the ape +5. So the ape is sitting at 40k, which is completely fine. Again, he's gonna swing at my Gogeta. I'm gonna respond here, I think, with a negate, because why not? I'm just gonna use a time magic, make sure that he can't do any shenanigans with that ape. As you can see, the ticker popped up where we got a new follower there on the stream on Mixer. If you guys do want to check out our stream on Mixer, I will put the link in the comment section down below. Feel free to check us out. Like I said earlier, as of right now, we are going live once a week, but we plan on improving that in the future just to kind of make it a more overall experience for you guys. So Enrique does pass. I'm going to untap everything. Turn 6, 6 energy with this deck. There's so many things that I can do. I do have a 30k body on board that has triple strike. My opponent's only sitting at 2 life, so there's a lot of options. I'm going to go ahead and activate my leader skill, which is going to grab me a yellow Saiyan that costs 3 or higher. I'm going to go ahead and add the Super Saiyan 4 from the Goku's Lineage starter deck from back in, I think it was set 4. This card is actually pretty good in this deck. For 5 energy, I get a body on board that's 25k. And activate main once per turn. I can take a life to restand him, and if I'm at 2 or less life, he gains triple strike. So it's another triple striker that he's got to deal with. I'm going to go ahead and swing with my leader to pressure, draw a card here. Just kind of make him dwindle his hand down. Because he's only at 2 life. So I can, if I sequence this properly, it's game. Because I have too much pressure on board. I have a much higher card count in my hand. And I'm playing with Gogeta 7, so that's one of the better win cons in the game right now. But I am glad I was able to find something that makes this Gohan deck work, because I love the art of this leader. That is my favorite iteration of Gohan of all time. Everybody knows that Gohan's my favorite character, but the SS2 Gohan from the BoJack Unbound movie is my favorite character model of Gohan of all time. It's just my favorite one, so I'm glad I was able to make something work. So he's going to go ahead and take that and go down to, it looks like 2 life. So he might have been at 3 instead of 2. So I might have miscalculated there. But I'm just going to keep pressuring with my 15Ks. I have all my energy open to make a follow-up for another body on the board. So let's see. He's comboed out. He's only got 2 cards in hand. I can easily tap 5 here to go into my SS4. Or I have another alternative win con. While Gogeta's on the board, I can overwhelm for Fu the Dark Banisher, which is 4 energy as well. So it's a little less, and it's a little more effective as far as making him warp cards every time he activates his skill. But we are going to go ahead and tap 5 for the SS4. I'm going to swing at leader, 25k to his 15. Let's see if he decides to negate or combo out. And then I do have this skill of taking a life to restand him to give him triple strike, which is exactly what he's reading right now, because I'll be able to put myself down to 2 with the SS4 skill and then kind of pressure that way and just dump my hand into that last swing, unless he has a counter, of course. Because battering does not exist anymore, you do have to play around a lot of your opponent's counters. So let's see here. So we're swinging 25 to 15. It doesn't look like he's going to counter. At least I don't think. I don't know what he's debating here at this point. He's only got 3 cards in hand. If you have a counter, you play it at this point. or you just take the damage and you tap the next energy for counter. So he's not going to counter. I'm not going to combo. 25k is going to force him to use at least 2 cards. As you can see, he's activating his Paragus super combo there to draw 2 cards. He is going to have to warp 1 out of his hand now, but I'm going to force him to use 2 cards regardless, because my leader is my swing is 25k to his 15, so he'll have to over combo to 30. So right now he's just debating on what card he's going to warp from Paragus skill. He's already drawn 2 at this point. Paragus kind of hurts you when you have low hand advantage, but getting rid of a 10k might be a little less effective because it's less combo power that you have with untapped energy. So I am going to go ahead and activate SS2 to take a life and restand him, giving him triple strike. He's going to go ahead and activate for the greater good to negate the attack, and then I still have my Gogeta swing, which I'm just going to go ahead and dump everything into as Enrique starts scooping up the cards to not let me have any enjoyment. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you guys want to see this deck profile in the comment section down below, and we'll make sure that we get it uploaded to you as soon as possible. Again, thank you for everybody who joined us on our live stream on Monday night. We're going to continue to do that, and if you guys want to follow the stream as well, I'll put the link in the description below on our newly created Mixer account. Thanks again for all the support. We really do appreciate it here at No Counters, No Combos, and we will see you guys in the next video. Be there or be squared.